Yeah, good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning, and we took the Cadillac down and we got it registered and everything, got it inspected, and so we're getting ready to do some more road work with it and testing and stuff. But the wheel is all froze up as far as the calipers go. We even took the brake rotors off and cleaned them up. So what we're going to do today is we're going to pull these calipers apart right down here, and we're going to rebuild them using the parts that are already in them, so we don't have to go buy any parts. And we're going to try to show you how to do that today. So the first thing is you got to loosen up all these lug nuts while the tire's on the ground, and then you put it up on the jack stand, and I'll show you where to put those. Okay, this is where you can put the jack stands, right here up underneath this frame, this main cross frame right here. It's very strong. You can also jack the car up right here from that jack point too, and that'll allow you to have room in the back and the sides here to work on the wheels while they're up off the ground. So we got the lug nuts loose, so let's get the tire off. All right, the next thing is to go ahead and get the lug nuts off, put them in someplace safe, either behind the tire or someplace, a cup or whatever, or you can put them in the hubcap too. We already took that off, sorry, maybe we can show that to you later. So let's get this tire off. Alright, the next step we need to do is we need to spread this brake caliper out a little bit. Don't take this line off yet like I did as a dummy. I forgot you have to push the piston down. So next thing you need to do is just kind of spread these calipers out a little bit. There we go. And don't pry on this little piece right here. This is just cast iron and it will snap. So if you're like wanting to do this or something, or get under here and don't do it, you'll break this piece. Don't do it. Just do it on the heavy piece right here. Just right up underneath this little tab right here, top and bottom. Just spread it out like that. I did this off camera, sorry about that, guys, but we'll get it in the end of the video where we put it back on. Use the 13mm wrench or ratchet and socket to get that top bolt off. You'll also have to put a 17mm wrench in the open end in order to keep the pin from moving. Alright, now that we got these loose, or we've got the brake caliper spread, we can go ahead and remove the brake caliper and get the discs out, or the pistons, I'm sorry. And the pistons are what actually push on the brakes. I'm going to show that to you right now. And just bring it and set it up here like this. And these are the pistons right here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a plastic bag and we're going to wrap it. You can go ahead and close that off right here. That's just your dust cap for your brake bleeder. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these out. I think we can get these seals out first. So we're going to need a small screwdriver for that. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get these little rubber boots out of here. And there's a little detent right down in here. Let me see if I can show you like that. So you got to get up under here and get way in the back. Turn this a little sideways like this. And then kind of pry that little seal out. It can be a real booger at times. You can see it starting to come out here. So keep working it a little bit at a time. Then you can walk this down here like that. Now you don't want to be up in here, like right up in here, because you can actually break your seal then. Now if these are nice and pliable, they're reusable. If they're not, then you have to go buy new ones. And they're about $5 or so. Normally we would just go ahead and buy new ones, but we need this car Monday and it's Saturday, and they're kind of like mail order type things, so we got to use them, and they're actually in good shape. So we're gonna do that. So let's get the other one out. You gotta get up under that lip there, and it's got to be about this angle too, because if you're not, what's gonna happen is you're just gonna slip off and you're gonna tear the boot, and you don't want to do that. You just got to keep playing with it and keep playing with it. And you can't pry this just straight. because all you're doing is prying against the wall. You have to pry this way to kind of pull it out. It takes up, there it goes. So you just got to be patient with it, and it will come out. There it goes. Just walking around and get it. See, I almost poked a hole in it right there. I got when I was pulling it out a little bit. There you go. So all these boots can be, see how they're nice and pliable? So they're good. So they're reusable. So we're going to clean them up and reuse them. And these down in here, this is what happens. Is this little area right here. Not this, the rusty area, but this part up in here. Inside here, and these pistons, they get a little bit of corrosion in them and they don't want to work anymore. And the reason you don't take the brake line off on the back over here, wherever it was, anyways, this brake line, the reason you don't take that off is because you need the hydraulic fluid to get these out. You can't get a wrench on these or any other way. So if you've pulled that brake line off already, put it back on the car, bleed the brakes, and then use the brake pedal itself and the hydraulic pressure to force these out. And that's what we're going to do right now. So go ahead and go pump those brakes. We're going to need that C-clamp. Oh, I almost forgot. Before you actually pull these pistons out, you need to pull off your brake shoes or pads. The reason is because this thing is going to leak fluid all over everything. And you don't want to get on your brake pads. We put new pads on it, and the calipers were already kind of seizing up, so now they just got worse and worse, and I kind of actually expected it. One of the other things you're going to need a C-clamp. The reason is because if one of these goes ahead and starts to come out more than the other one, then the other one will be stuck and this one will be out. So what you do is you use the C-clamp to put on the one that's the highest. And these are pretty long, so we can wait for a little while, and then what will happen is we'll stop this one from moving, and the fluid will force this one out then. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get ready on the brakes. All right, go ahead and pump them. All right, a little bit more. Stop. Now, this is what I'm talking about. See how this one's coming out and this one's not? If you keep going, this one will pop out and this one will be stuck in here. So what you do is you put a C-clamp on it, like this, and that stops this one from moving, and then this one will start to come out. And when we do it that way, you can walk them both out and they'll get right up to the end, and then they'll come out. So hold on, let me show you. All right, go ahead and pump. So this is what it does here. See how the other one's coming out now? Oops. Stop. Knock the clamp off. Hold on. All right, go. A little bit more. A little bit more. All right, stop. Anyways, I think you guys get the idea. You just go back and forth until they both get all the way out. All right, now what happens is this one got out a little bit too far and it started to leak. And then the seal is actually inside here in this raised area on both of them. So all I can do, I can put a board back on there and I can force this one back in a little bit, and then this one will come out. So let's go ahead and do that. I can't get, yeah, see, I can't get this one out, so it's still stuck. So that means I need to push this one back in just a little bit to get this one the rest of the way out. And this is normal. This is what normally happens. You just got to play with it a little bit. When they get a little too far out and one starts leaking, the other doesn't, what you can do is you just put your old brake pad on it, not the new ones you bought. That's not a good idea. Put your old ones on it, and then you can go ahead and you can go ahead and pump it out. All right, go ahead. Keep going. Stop. Now see, this one's starting to leak, so that means I can take this C-clamp off of here. All right, when they both get so far out that the fluid is just coming out both sides, or close to both sides, then what you can do is you can go ahead and one of them will pop out and the other will stay in. And what you're going to end up having to do is you're going to end up having to put your thumb in here and rock it back and forth, and eventually it'll pop out like that. You're going to end up with a big pile of mess all over everything. All this brake fluid's going to leak all over. So now we can go ahead and pull these off of here. And I put that rag down there to catch all that so it didn't get into the environment and everything. You can use a bucket or something, and you can take this down to a hazmat center and they'll take care of it for you. Or you can burn it if you got an outside burn pit or something, which is just as good too. So alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get all this fluid out of here. Then we're going to take that brake line off this side over here, and then we're going to take this over onto the workbench and we're going to rebuild it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get to it. Alright, to get the brake line off, trust me, it's on there pretty tight. You're going to have to put it back on the car without the brake pads on it, obviously, because there's oil everywhere. And then you get your wrench and you put it on the brake line and you loosen it up. Alright, if it's on there really tight, you can double wrench it like this. This is a 10 and this is an 11. And you stick it on there and then it'll come off. Now you have to have these screws on here. They don't have to be on tight, but just screw down, you know, like most of the way, just hand tight. And if they're not hand tight, then you might have to use a ratchet or something to put them down in there, but they need to be down in there so that you can loosen this up. You don't want like 1 or 2 threads on there, because you might strip this piece right here. This is your guide pin right here. That's what keeps everything, this whole assembly, parallel and level, and it keeps it from coming out to while the car is moving around and vibrating and you're braking and stuff. So that's important. Alright, so now I'm going to use a ratchet wrench. I love my ratchet wrenches. Right here, by the way. It's a true ratchet wrench because it's actually got it's a true reversible ratchet wrench because it's got a lever. Now these are a little more fragile than your regular wrenches, or I should say they're a lot more fragile than your regular wrenches. So don't use these to break things free. You want to use a regular wrench. If you use these to break these free, you can break this mechanism in here, and then you have to throw your wrench away. And that's not good. So these are only for once they're broken free. They're not for tightening and they're not for loosening. They are for moving the bolt into the position so that you can tighten or loosen. Shouldn't be any real tension on these, and they speed up the job a lot if you don't have air tools. I mean, a lot. Now there's 2 O-rings down here made out of copper, and I'll show them to you when we get there. And you're gonna have to replace those. The other side I got lucky; they were in good shape, and I went ahead and reused them. This side, not so much. It was kind of a booger. Boy, I was in here a lot further than I thought. Chip! I flipped the lever. There we go. There we go. See those copper rings right there? That's what you're going to replace. There's one on this side underneath the bolt head, and then there's one on this side right here, the copper ring. Buy those just down at your local automotive store. If they're in good shape, yeah, you might get away with it, but it's just easier not to worry about it and go buy some new ones. So now we can go ahead and we can get these bolts off of here. And if you don't like fluid and crap all over your hands, and go ahead and wear some neoprene gloves or whatever. Brake fluid's just kind of some oil and stuff, and I really don't worry about it. And I don't do this every day, so probably be okay. I've been doing it this way for years. Don't have cancer or anything like that. So there we are. Here's our brake caliper. It's all off now. I guess you can see how it's put together now. Sort of. That's your guide pin. These should be loose. If they're not, you may have to buy a kit. There should be some grease up in here. And this rubber boot keeps dirt and dust and keeps the grease in when the brakes get hot. If these are not movable like this and pliable and move easily, replace them. If you replace them and you got problems with them and you still can't do it, then you're gonna have to replace this brake caliper bracket right here. So then sometimes you're gonna have to replace these too. These are the anti-vibration and other kind of things. They're made out of stainless steel. You might take those off and clean those up too. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about how to rebuild one of these. So let's go get to it. Okay guys, that concludes part 1 of this series. Next we're going to go up on the bench and play around with the caliper, and I'm going to teach you how to rebuild them on the bench. See you in the next video. God bless y'all, and Keith Nunny out. Bye.